Oh, go ahead. You want to give me the... Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our special show, Let's Go Places on WBCB 1490. My name is Tom Mellon, your host. My co-host here to my left, not immediate left, but one next, is Charlie Esposito at our home here in Team Toyota Langhorne, the new car showroom. But today, because of this special show, and as Bree understands it, we're extending it a little bit because of the distinguished guests and information that we're going to convey to you, our listenership, about some things of some important topics of interest. A special thanks to Paul Muller, owner of Team Toyota in Langhorne and the sponsor for all of our shows, Behind the Badge, Justice for All, Let's Go Places, Your Health with Tom Mellon, on and on and on. And it's this show, Let's Go Places, we've been doing now for 12 years, Charlie. It's hard to believe. Do you remember where we had our first show? Well, we'll talk about that later. The Irish Rover down in, right, you were there, Joe. It was the first show we did. Fantastic. But the basis of our show is to educate, obviously, and increase awareness about the courageous efforts of our heroes. Who are they? Our police, our fire, our military, and our educators as well. But as we begin the show, and it's a special one because we're going to we're going to extend from 60 minutes to up to 90 minutes because of, and believe me, you don't want to leave your sets. You don't want to, if you're streaming, you don't want to leave this show because you're going to hear a lot of good information that's valuable to you to understand. But it's a fitting time for everyone to give thanks to the Lord above for the blessings of our past year. A lot of things have happened. It's a traditional reference in our country to extend the blessings on Thanksgiving. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. I made a big mistake and made turnips one year, and they were good. And now every year I got to make the turnips for my family. But let's please remember our military, most who are far removed in terms of physicality from their families abroad. And that's who we really want to think about and reflect on tomorrow, on Thanksgiving. Their loved ones, as they serve our nation to protect us from the perils of these nefarious criminals, enemies, demons of the world, whatever you want to call them. But it makes this country safe, secure, and most importantly, the most powerful nation in the world. Believe it or not, it is. Even though we have division in politics, you got to look straight down the line. There's a lot of influence and a lot of good character with both parties, with several parties. But and we want to give praise and pray for our new president that's coming in January 20th, President Donald Trump, the 45th and now the 47th president. So whether or not you like a person or not, he will be our commander-in-chief and leader. And please, let's rally behind him because we have a lot of casualties in this country, and a lot of things that need to be straightened out. But I want to do some return welcomes, most importantly, to Joe Griffiths. He's the Director of Veterans Affairs in South Jersey, and he hosts his own show, as I was just told by Joe right here. Joe, welcome.
Yep, welcome. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Charlie.
14 years on Wibbage.
14 years January.
10:20 a.m., 97.9 FM, 101.3 FM, and 101.9 every Sunday from 9 to 11. And Joe will tell you how he can be reached. Great shows that you've been conducting down there for many, many years, Joe.
Well, we're very lucky.
Yeah. A return welcome to Matt Allen, my good friend to my right here. Matt is our Bucks County, Pennsylvania Director of Veterans Services, along with Tom Ruskowski. We're going to be talking a little bit about Veterans Response Team. Tom is a Marine Corps veteran. You're sitting right next to my partner in crime over there, Joe Gall, who is the founder of Safety Blue Alert. We're going to talk a little bit about that so that everyone needs to be made aware of how public safety is critical, and this product that Joe put together because of his concern for public safety for not only our police but our military. Joe's going to be talking to us. Semper Fi for you two guys, Roskowski and Joe Gall, and Joe Safran. Joe is the chair for our Bucks County Tour of Honor. Joe does a lot of things behind the scenes, communicating with our political leaders, our activists in all the communities about on and about, and even outside, contiguously, not only Bucks County, but Philadelphia and other areas. Joe's going to talk a little bit about our Thanksgiving breakfast, our annual Thanksgiving breakfast, which is going to be held on Street Road up at the Eagle Diner tomorrow. We have a special raffle that we're going to be doing, right, Joe?
Yeah, drawing,
yeah. So, as you can tell, our schedule today, it's an exciting one. And that's the reason why I requested with our radio station that we do this, for about 90 minutes. And most importantly, but sir, let's begin with our two directors of Veteran Services, Joe Griffiths, Matt Allen. I know that, Matt, we're excited about this Veterans Response Team. You want to start off with that?
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Thanks
yeah.
for having me again.
Oh.
Last time I was on the show, it was prior to the Veterans Response Team taking effect.
Yes.
We now have 2 classes of police officers that went through. 46 officers in Bucks County are trained in ways to respond to veterans in crisis, veterans that are homeless, veterans that don't know where to go to file a claim.
Sure.
These officers now have an added resource under their tool belt so that when they do respond to a veteran for whatever they are responding to, they can help them out. The biggest thing that I'm getting back from the officers is they didn't know all these resources existed in the county. We only hear as veterans through word of mouth about resources, and this is now getting the information from the horse's mouth
Sure.
instead of the scuttlebutts.
Sure.
And it's great. We've already had 34 referrals since June 6th of 2024, and it's on the path of being more successful, and I'm trying to get it across the entire United States. They already have it in North Carolina, one small county in North Carolina. The state of Delaware has it. Montgomery County was the first county in Pennsylvania to implement it. Shockingly enough, Philadelphia was the 3rd county in Pennsylvania for being a large Class A
Yeah, good
city.
point. Good point.
They were the 3rd county in Pennsylvania to implement it. And I just want to bring awareness that there are resources out there for the veterans in the community to get the help that they need and they deserve. I mean, there's only 1% of the county or population that serve in the military, and what better way to give them back than to help them out?
I mean, the size of our military inhabitants in Bucks County is just enormous.
Yeah, so it fluctuates. Sometimes I can say there's 30,000 veterans. Sometimes I can say there's 40,000, depending on how you want to look at it.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Tommy, thanks for joining us today. I know that you're going to be a soldier working very diligently with Matt on this very special project. Thanks for joining us.
No,
United States Marine Corps veteran?
Yes, sir. Yeah, U.S. Marine veteran, Iraq War veteran, and I work on the behavioral health side with Bucks County. So I work on the mental health side of services, and being a veteran, part of our mental health team there at the county. When this opportunity came up, a year and a half ago, when it got brought up to run in the county, I jumped right on it to be
Sure.
a part of Matt's team to help him out with that.
That's awesome stuff. When did you serve over there in Iraq?
So I was a Marine reservist from 2002 to 2009. And of course, I joined right after I was my sophomore year in college when 9/11 happened. So I think that January was when I signed the dotted line, joined the Marines, and then spent a few trips to Iraq, and lovely time.
Yeah, great time, I'm telling you. Joe, your thoughts on this Veterans Response Team? I don't know if you have anything. You probably have something very familiar,
Well,
if not the same.
Our show is very involved with veterans courts all over the country. Jersey does not have veterans courts. They're the only state out of the 49 other states that have veterans courts. We have what's called a pretrial intervention, where in Philadelphia, you go in front of one of the best veterans court judges in the country, Pat Dugan.
He's retiring.
Well, he's running for office again, that's why. But he's still
moving in another line, right?
Dugan is still the head of, he's the municipal judge for the whole city of Philadelphia, and he still runs veterans courts. Jersey doesn't have them. They have pretrial intervention program, which a prosecutor determines whether or not you get a break in the court or you don't get a break in the court. Now, I fight that all the time because the prosecutors get paid to put you in jail. That's their job. And
that's the truth.
But I'm very involved with Veterans for Justice down in All Rise, the program with Melissa Fitzgerald is a good friend of ours. and that is a program that sends veterans off to college instead of sending them off to prison.
Wow.
And we're a population of 3.5% of the world's population, but yet we have 25% of the world's incarcerated prisoners.
Wow.
Of which 17% are veterans.
Oh my God.
And what's really screwed up is we have vets that did time because they came back from Vietnam, especially, and they got in trouble smoking marijuana. Well, they learned to smoke marijuana because the government sent them to Vietnam, where it grew all over the place, and they came back and they got dishonorable discharges, less than honorable discharges. They got no benefits. Now today, a veteran gets property tax relief, a big check every month if he's 100% or 90% or 80%
Right.
disqualified.
Right.
So we're now working to try and get those situations, those backlog cases, benefits given to the veterans, at least the ones that are still living. The ones that have died, we're working on getting their families some kind of back benefits, because it's not fair how they... And Vietnam veterans were and I'm one, most discriminated veterans to ever serve in our country.
I agree.
And we're still being discriminated against. One other fast point is our show is very involved with suicides. 25 a day, 175 a week, 800 a month, 9,600 a year. Over 10 years, 100,000 vets commit suicide.
Jesus.
That's an epidemic.
That's horrible.
I mean, so a lot of people do a lot of talking about suicide. We never present a problem that whether it's the Secretary of the VA, the Undersecretary of the VA, Sharif Aline, or whether it's at this table. We won't produce a problem unless we produce a solution with it. So we got involved 2 years ago with military sports, military basketball, the NBA, Military Basketball Association. And we had, last time I was on your show, about this time last year, we had Mike Myers, the founder of it.
That's right. Yeah.
And our program is, whether it be a guy up here, Johnny C, does first swing golf, teaches, have you ever heard of him?
I have.
He teaches
You
vets.
have, Matt? Yeah.
He teaches vets that are blind, or vets that have prosthetic legs. They take them to driving ranges and teach them how to hit a golf ball. They're actually blind too. We have weightlifters. We have Philadelphia Flyers have Wounded Warrior Hockey, which are all professional hockey teams. So none of these organizations have veterans committing suicide, because we're in a room now. If I'm having a bad day, Tom can notice something's wrong with me. He might save my life that day. Mm-hmm. So our focus is whether it's playing chess, playing checkers. We just got chess and checkers put back in all the VAs, hospitals. They took it out on account of the pandemic. They were afraid if you and I were playing checkers or playing chess, my pawn would get you the virus and you would die. Veterans, being around veterans, is the greatest mental health therapy out there.
Now you bring up a great
Incredible.
point, because one of the things that I also do with in Bucks County is I'm a chair on the Bucks County Suicide Prevention Task Force, and I also help run our Veterans Subcommittee. So we do, a lot of focus this past year. We've made kind of a big jump with kind of helping with vet services. For years, there wasn't that representative, or we didn't have that strong of a representative. But we've got some good people working very closely with the VA. This last October, beginning of October, we kind of held our first mental health suicide awareness event down at the VFW in Techeron down in Bristol. And we had close to 40 different vet service organizations and service providers there, veterans and their families, family event to start that conversation, have that conversation, talking about mental health, talking about suicide and the awareness within the community, and kind of support that peer support. There's no better help for a veteran than another veteran, which is why this VRT is so important. They're starting in the county. So
we actually, our show got millions funded because the military basketball, Mike Myers, the founder, did tours in Iraq, him and Angel. Now, Mike Myers, when he didn't go to Iraq as an infantry officer, he was the athletic director for Carson, Colorado. And coming back, when he went on the basketball court, he realized that, wow, all my anxiety, all my energy, my sadness, the feelings in my head,
All
the guilt,
dispelled.
it all disappeared. It went away. He was on the court. So they organized 40 military bases around the country, Marines, Navy, Army, Coast Guard, Air Force, to play different posts. So Fort Carson would now go to California, play Camp Lejeune or wherever, wherever the base is. But the players had to pay. The military would give them time off, but the players had to pay out of their pocket and do fundraisers and all to pay for their expenses, their hotel rooms and all. So we were able to go to the undersecretary, who's from New Jersey, Sharif Aline, a really, really good guy.
Awesome stuff.
And he gave us the millions to fund the program. Now we're working.
That's what it's all about, right, Matt?
Absolutely.
Now we're working with Congress to finish this.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick pause. Hold that thought,
okay.
Joe, so we can identify our sponsors here, Paul Muller being the major sponsor. You're listening to Words of Wisdom here with the leadership of our military, with Matt Allen, the Director of Veteran Services up here in Bucks County, Joe Griffey's in South Jersey. We have Tom Roskowski. You're going to be hearing from Joe Gall about Safety Blue Alert, Joe Safran, who is sitting there just waiting, chomping at the bit with some information about our Bucks County Tour of Honor. And Charlie
I'm
Esposito.
just sucking it all in.
You are.
He's waiting for the call from Denise.
He has his teeth in. Breeze, he's got his teeth in today, too.
Forgot again.
His teeth are in today, so,
Yeah,
I mean, that's
no,
good.
They're not. They're in my pocket.
Yeah, oh, they're not.
Remind me.
I forgot to remind you.
That's their one job.
The one job, and I keep forgetting about it.
One job.
Yeah, well, you'll see his other choppers when we return after a few words
Wait
from
to
our
see this magic
sponsors.
trick.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota is the choice for your next vehicle purchase or service this season. With new Toyota models available for immediate delivery and over 100 certified used and pre-owned vehicles for any budget. Plus service specials to keep you on the road to victory. Shop or schedule online at teamtoyota.net or choose one of our 3 locations in Langhorne, Glen Mills, or Princeton. Are you part of the team?
Hi, this is Mayor Jeff Martin of Hamilton Township, inviting you to tune in to our monthly radio show, This Month in Hamilton. Video streamed live the 4th Tuesday of every month at 10 a.m. at WBCB1490.com. We will be featuring various guests from Hamilton Township to keep you up to date on what's going on in Hamilton.
Are you a parrot head? Not that kind. That's more like it. If you're this kind of parrot head, don't forget to check out the Denny-O Polka Show every Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon right here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
We have returned. I hope that you're on your second or third cup of coffee by now. Charlie has his lower choppers put in, and we're ready to propel this to higher lofts here. Right, Matt? Cool. Right, Joe? You're listening to Matt Allen, the Director of our Veteran Services here in Bucks County. Joe Griffey. Joe, thanks again. We need to get you up. You're so invaluable.
I just would take one more minute to finish what these guys are
doing.
Yeah,
please do. With
the military sports, whether it be table tennis, bowling. We have a blind bowler from not far from here, just passed away.
Right.
Logan. He was blind at Vietnam at 18. He loved the bowl.
Wow. How do you do that?
After he fought Drexel to use his GI Bill because they had no accommodations for blind veterans. And
right.
Took him to court and was going to sue them.
Jesus.
Now they named a room, the computer room after because he graduated top of his class. But he wanted to bowl. So he invented plungers that you would put on a bowling lane and a railing. And you would follow the railing, and where it turned, you got your ball, and where it ended was the middle of the lane. They bowled for 50 years, never a suicide. So along with psychology, psychiatry, acupuncture, chiropractic care, yoga, we're trying to get military sports funded as mental health for what you guys are doing. And it's a program. You got to look at the fact. It's time we stop talking about suicide and time we start doing something.
Yeah, we have Victor Six here in Bucks County. They are a fitness program.
Fitness gyms.
Yeah, it's a 3-month program every Tuesday and Thursday night at the Newtown Athletic Club. I went through the program myself, and even with sports, like you said, I think when I was used to play sports, I don't play anymore because I ruptured my Achilles when I was deployed.
Ouch.
And playing sports days are over for
Yeah,
me. But
yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Newtown Athletic Club with Victor Six, their slogan is a strong body fuels a strong mind.
Sure.
And it reduces suicides or suicidal ideations or any negative thoughts like that.
It increases the activity, and people are thinking, or our veterans are thinking, and they know there's a place to go for them for social activities as well as physical.
Yeah, and they're one of our speakers that come out for our VRT to talk to the officers, because not only like that's a resource that they can maybe pass on to a vet in the community that's going through something, but that's also something for them too, because they're veterans as well.
Of course.
That this is something that they can help take care of themselves. And if you're taking care of yourself physically, you're also helping take care of yourself mentally. So it's one of those. I mean, they've been to that. They've been to a couple of our suicide prevention events. So I mean, they're definitely a group that's involved with what we're doing with vets. Yeah.
I hope and pray, Matt, Tommy, that some of our veterans are listening in, and maybe they can take advantage of this. Is there a number they can call to get more information on this program?
So they can reach out to me at 215-345-3881. Another thing I want to just mention, too,
Sure.
is to break the stigma of law enforcement officers out there on the street who are dealing with mental health issues and are afraid to say anything. One, it's okay to not be okay as long as you're getting the help.
Good point.
You can be a police officer and deal with mental health issues as long as you weren't 302'd. Once you are 302'd, you then obviously lose the right to carry a firearm. But again, don't let it get to that point.
Sure.
And you'll be all right. So deal with whatever you're dealing with, especially the officers that are veterans who deployed to a combat zone and seen the worst of the worst. Again, coming back, transitioning back to the civilian world, getting into law enforcement, it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
Just get the help that
It's
you need.
acceptable. It's acceptable coming
is.
back.
And I'm just trying to break that stigma because a lot of the individuals that I deal with are like, I don't have anything wrong with me. And I'm like, maybe you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And once you start getting the help, they're a different person. I was in law enforcement for 10 years. I deployed in 2019. I came back and
Sheriff's Department.
Sheriff's
right?
Department, Bucks County.
Yeah.
And I made the transition to this position. And
Good move, by the way. We're happy to have you.
great move.
Absolutely. It was a fantastic move.
But I came back and I was still working in law enforcement, and I was still trying to recover from my leg injury, and I dealt with mental health issues myself, and I got the help that I needed, and now I'm a better version of myself than I ever have been before.
I believe everyone who's served has some percentage, some bit of anxiety, if you use that word, and the PTSD, the post-traumatic stress syndrome. I'm watching my partner, Joe Gall. He's nodding at all this, and you know it better than anyone, Joe.
Sure.
If you want to make a couple comments there.
Yeah, with Vietnam, as a
You were
Vietnam
in
veteran.
67, 68?
Yeah, I was right there denying at the Tet Offensive
Jesus.
when they said nothing was going on and they hit 100 bases.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I guess we didn't have the right intelligence. But
That's incredible.
anyway, we came home, and I agree with the mental aspect of it. Well, we really didn't have a lot of veteran services at that point, and a lot of guys just didn't reach out. They just, went back to their jobs,
Sure.
unions, or we're in Northeast Philadelphia, so you just went to work and you tried to just get a career, build a family.
Which is what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I'm on the sitting on the sofa like 3 weeks after I'm home. My mother says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Mom, I'm sitting on the sofa. I'm shaking." Well, no bums in the house. Get a job. I said, "Really?" So
Sound familiar, right, Joe?
called Uncle Jim. Uncle Jim was the timekeeper at Glasgow Construction. Next thing you know, I'm pouring concrete with 5 black guys. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm pouring concrete with 5 black guys." They said, "All right, here's the deal. We have this covered, but we need beverages at lunchtime." So we we had some interesting times, but we were pretty tough. I didn't see this. They were spitting on veterans and all. I really
It was
didn't.
horrible.
I didn't witness that. I mean, we were in shape. I mean, we could do 100 push-ups and 1,000 jumping jacks.
Yeah, so if somebody spits at you, they better know how to handle
it was,
themselves, right?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. But I mean, that was the first. What we didn't realize was our parents. This was the first war that was televised, and they were.
That's a good point.
They were talking about all the casualties and so forth, and we didn't realize it. We had Stars and Stripes was our own paper in Vietnam, and we're just talking about victories and battles. But back home, at the I'm going back to the '60s, so we're talking the Detroit riots, and we had no idea what was going on. We were just doing our job as Marines in Vietnam.
Exactly.
And
You were sent, you served, and you did what you had to do over there.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the mental health, we came back. A lot of our friends in the 20s were getting married, and we thought that was the thing to do instead of looking at careers and stuff. And you learn things later on in life. But,
Procreation. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I just said, Matt, last week, we're still active in the Marine Corps League, and we do a lot of special work with veterans that have passed up at the Washington Crossing National Cemetery, and it's a good program. It's very, we show up in force and give them a proper send-off.
God bless you for what you do, Joe.
Yeah.
For many times I'm coming in and out of stores, for example, Wawa, and it's incredible. I'll beat his chest because he won't. We'd be standing in line, and if there was a police officer or a veteran that was waiting to pay for whatever he bought, Joe would always go over and grab his cashier and find out how much was that. I'll take care of it. Thank you for your services. That's just something that he did unselfishly, and still, I'm sure he still does. But
Yeah.
he has the right motives and the right ambition to help people where they need help.
Yeah,
Tom, if I can add something on to what Joe said.
Yeah.
Vietnam veterans were the best trailblazers for the military.
Yes.
Because you guys, Iraq, Afghanistan vets, are getting what you're getting, what you deserve, without the hassle we had to go through on account of not the politicians, not the churches, not the Fortune 500 companies. The Vietnam veterans didn't want you guys treated like we were. To add on to what Joe said, when we came home, you had Walter Cronkite at 6 o'clock at night, half-hour news. Our families weren't educated in Vietnam.
Correct.
They had no idea what
No.
we were doing. Your mother prayed the day you left and stopped praying the day you came home because she felt our prayers were answered.
Correct.
But we went 15 years before they recognized Agent Orange, before they recognized post-traumatic stress. They just thought we were Korea, World War II, shell shock. We were crazy.
That was the word. Yeah, you weren't. Yeah,
Guys coming
shell
home
shock.
today, Iraq, Afghanistan, boom, right in line for post-traumatic stress because they neglected to recognize it with us. So that's people ask me, what are you the proudest most of? That we were able to help the next generation of veterans.
God bless you for everything you're doing.
Joe, you mentioned the Marine Corps League, and not to take away from your guys' age or anything, but
Right.
we need to get the younger
We're old
generation.
farts.
Yeah, you said it. We need to get the younger generation involved in these organizations,
Yes.
the Marine Corps League, any sort of military, VFW, American Legion, to keep them alive going forwed.
Functionally, yes.
The average age in these American Legions are probably, 70 years old?
We have a lot of problem getting.
It's crazy.
We have a lot of problem getting new members in our posts. It goes with our retirees. The younger guys coming out of the service don't want to. The younger people coming out of the service just don't want to get involved in any of this. So your point is exactly right. We have to start trying to get these people coming out of the service to get involved in these. They don't realize how important just having the numbers is important. And when something comes up, they always come to people with a lot of numbers because they want their votes. It's like the auto, you know how they all go to all the unions to get their votes because they know there's a lot of numbers. And we have a lot of trouble getting recruits.
Absolutely. Throw that pick over to Joe Safran. We're going to return after a few words because I want Joe to voice his opinion on some matters with our military and as the chairman of the Tour of Honor and what you've seen, what we continue to see, the experiences of our veterans who came home, and it's just uplifting.
Especially the Vietnam veterans.
Especially
We
Vietnam
love that.
veterans. It's great. And thank God for all the leadership that we have at this table here. We'll pause for a few moments. I'm surprised Paul Muller's not here. He doesn't know we're upstairs. He normally pops in downstairs and says hello, a couple comical statements.
I'll have to talk to him about the Tundra.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Before we take a break, one day I looked at him, I said, "This is Mr. Ubiquitous." And he looked at me and he says, "I don't know whether I want to thank you or punch you in the nose." He said, "The hell's Ubiquitous?" But anyhow, we'll return after a few moments. You're listening to Let's Go Places on WBCB, 1490 AM and 107.3 on the dial. Don't go anywhere. We have a lot more to talk about here with our leaders, with our military.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota is the choice for your next vehicle purchase or service this season. With new Toyota models available for immediate delivery and over 100 certified used and pre-owned vehicles for any budget. Plus service specials to keep you on the road to victory. Shop or schedule online at teamtoyota.net or choose one of our 3 locations in Langhorne, Glen Mills, or Princeton. Are you part of the team?
Are you a parrot head? Not that kind. That's more like it. If you're this kind of parrot head, don't forget to check out the Denny-O Polka Show every Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon right here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Hey, this is Jonesy. Kick off your Thursday and Friday evenings in style. Join me for an eclectic freeform mix of the hits and beyond. It's a happening, a musical journey. It's the Glenn Jones Radio Experience, right here on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, Thursday and Friday, 5 to 6 p.m., directly following the legendary Jerry Blavitt. Radio, the way it ought to be.
Opinions matter, and so does yours. Hi, I'm Joe Fabrizi, inviting you to join us every Monday at 1 p.m. for Opinions Matter, right here on 1490 AM WBCB. Opinions Matter is now live streamed at WBCB1490.com. We want to hear from you because your opinion does matter.
Welcome back. The Tonight Show. You hear him say that. Welcome to the Tonight Show. Well, this is the Today Show here in Bucks County, right? With Let's Go Places. Paul Mellon, our sponsor, who is a veteran himself. I remember when I started this show, I said I was thinking of doing this, that, and he goes, "That's a great idea. You know, let's put it together." And we started it 12 years ago, and it just continues to soar with interest. And it's not me; it's the speakers, and the experience, and the veterans, and the police. Our doctors that come on. It's great shows. It really is. But right now we want to allude back to Joe Safran. Joe, who is politically astute for many, many years. He was the president of the city council in Ben Salem. Moved on to loftier positions. He was the recorder of deeds in Bucks County for many, many years. I would like certain things for him to do, but he looks at me and says, "Leave me alone. I've done enough." Right, Joe?
Politically.
Right. Now, I'm glad you said that. Yeah, I've done enough with the politics. Let's work with the Tour of Honor. So, Joe, without further ado, tell us about the Tour of Honor a little bit and our breakfast tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks for having me back again, Tom.
You're always welcome.
Tomorrow is our annual raffle tickle drawing. It's going to be held at the Eagle Diner up in Warminster, Pennsylvania. It starts at 8 o'clock. You know, that's one of our major fundraisers for the year.
It sure is, and it's going well.
It's going fairly well this year. Even with the economic downturn and everything, we're doing okay.
Yeah.
Not as well as before, but we have enough to run another trip. That's what it's all about. We're in full swing now for the April 7th, 2025 trip. And in fact, I'll even let Joe know we're working with Brigantine down in New Jersey, and we're going to take a busload of veterans from Brigantine down to New Jersey.
Are you working with Mike Reardon?
No, I'm working with the school.
Oh, the school?
It's the school, and they're going to be bringing the veterans together.
That's good.
Because we usually take children from different school districts with us, so
that's great.
I figured it'd be a good idea maybe to talk to the school and see if their children, and then they want to take a bus with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, give you a little more information, but we are working with Brigantine, New Jersey, to take a busload of veterans.
The mayor there's a good guy, and their council, they're very supportive.
Yeah, well, I got a meeting. Actually, we have a meeting on December 16th with the police chief and everything down there. So hopefully we can work that out.
They honored a buddy of mine, Veterans Day, Jerry Tempesta from South Philly, and he has a home in Brigantine, and he's under consideration for the Medal of Honor. So he was a Grand Marshal in the parade. So he asked me would I ride with him. I said no, but I'll walk with you because I didn't want to sit in the back of no car.
No.
I don't want people to get the wrong impression. So we walked, and they had a fantastic Veterans Day ceremony.
Yeah, they always do. They always do. We have a home down there too.
Good.
That's why I figured I start in Brigantine and
Yeah.
work our way around down in there.
Yeah.
If you know anybody down in Ocean City area who wants to go, let us know. We'll be happy to take them along.
Yeah, Joe has the planning porch in Brigantine. Beautiful porch out in front of his house. Plenty of ice cold libations there.
Many a day on that beach.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. But how's it filling up the trip?
It's filling up quickly.
That's
it
what I
really
was-
is.
yeah.
We've got. Actually, there's 2 buses already full. Like
Wow.
like
They fill up
we're
quick.
allowed to take 4 buses down to go into Arlington.
Yeah.
And so we're 2. Once they cut us back,
Joe, are you having trouble finding Korean veterans?
We get a few.
We get a few. Last year we were lucky. We had quite a few last year, and
Even
we also
World War
have
II,
we have
vets.
4 World War II.
That's
veterans
incredible when you
last
think
year.
about
They
it.
were getting around better than I was.
Yeah, exactly. So last year we did
Yeah.
pretty well with
It's
that.
incredible.
This year I think we've got. This year we got I think there's like 3 maybe Korean veterans right now. But I don't know what's going to happen.
Because the Korean War was 5 years. Actually, a lot of guys fought in World War II got drafted in Korea. They really got screwed. Let
Yeah.
me tell you.
2 wars.
You make it home from World War II, and then you die in Korea.
Oh.
I mean, look at these graves. I'm sure in Bucks County, you'll see World War II
Yeah.
Korea.
But
So
we-
their ages are pretty close to say. They're all Korean vets are in their 90s.
The Korean veterans are in their early 90s. Yes.
And what the heck, Vietnam in the 70s, 80s, right? Joe?
Closer to 80s.
Yeah.
No, most of your
Global war
Vietnam
and terrors have
vets.
been in the 30s.
There you go, brother. That's right, you're 40s, yeah.
Yeah, most of your.
Tell them we just moved the date. We used to go up to the Vietnam, but we moved.
Well, we're taking veterans now up to February 28th, 1991.
That's good for the
That
listeners
was
to
the
know.
end
Good,
of the
Charlie.
first Iraqi confrontation over there. That was George W.'s war.
Claim to fame. Right,
So,
Matt?
but, yeah,
I mean, that's where you
we're
were out
taking
there.
them up to that date now.
Yeah, I broadcast it anytime a veteran comes in my office that following those guidelines. I'd let them know, hey, have you done the tour of honor yet, and are you interested? Well, I can't get around. I can't get a ride. Let us worry
We're-
about the rides.
Yeah, that's
Good point, Matt.
We'll get you to parks at our staging area.
Darn right we
No
will.
matter where you're at, we'll get you there. If you can, as long as you're allowed to go.
Yes.
And usually, it's up to the doctor. If sometimes there comes to a point. The only problem we usually have, and I don't like to say this, but it's somebody with dementia or
Yes,
something like that.
yes.
We've dealt with that a few times, and it's not a good scene.
It's not pleasant, no.
No, and I don't want to have the guardian there that really don't have the experience dealing with people with that type of disease. So it's like it's tough.
It is
It's really tough.
It is tough.
And then you got to worry about we have medical assistance on the buses. Matt, you've been there, and we have nurses on there. We have a police escort from the time we leave parks until the time we come back. I don't think there's a vet that is going on the trip that doesn't appreciate it.
Oh, my God.
wheelchair-
Joe Gall will tell you, our Marine Corps Vietnam veteran. Joe will tell you the same thing about the
Yeah,
trip.
it was an awesome trip, well put together, with Joe and the whole committee and parks.
Yeah.
But I felt bad for the motorcycle policemen. And we start the rain. They're on the motorcycles for 3 hours, and that was.
That is a long ride.
Yeah, they weren't. I don't think they were drying out too quick, but we really appreciated the escort down. So.
escort down and everything. We usually, and that's what I'm working with down in South Jersey. I want to see if I can get some of the police departments to work with the vets to bring them up to Pennsylvania.
Maybe Joe can help out with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
No, I'll be happy to have Joe work with us down there.
Yeah.
You can come.
If I could share a fast story about Honor Flight. I went on my first one about 7-8 years ago, and it was Philadelphia Honor Flight that you guys are aware of. You guys are, do the same thing, same great work. And Andrew called me and he says, I have 2 requests. I said, yeah. Now it's like 2 days before the Honor Flight trip. He said, can you get Lucy Nolan, who was on Fox News for a lot of years? Her dad was a Navy vet. Met her
Smart
mom
person.
in Vietnam. She was born
Very smart, right, Matt?
She was born in a South Vietnamese hospital, a Saigon hospital, and now she was anchor for Fox News for a lot of years. I said, yeah. I said, that Lucy would be fine. And can you get Gary Mannix? Now, a lot of people don't know Gary Mannix is a Vietnam veteran.
I didn't know that. Philadelphia Philly.
Gary Mannix got traded from the San Francisco Giants to Philadelphia. He refused a $7 million contract because he had a shave. Phillies had a clean shaving policy.
Yeah.
And Gary said, I'll turn it down. I'll play for less, but I'm not shaving. And finally, Rolly Carpenter asked him why. And he said, because for my age in Orange, I have blotches. Rolly says, give him an extra $1 million for being a Vietnam vet. Wow. And let him grow his beard and whatever. That's how it came about. But Gary Mannix.
It's a great story.
Gary Mannix never does any interviews. Nothing. I've called Scott Palmer 2 or 3 times. I said, come on, see if you can get Gary to come on our show, whatever.
Right.
He said, Joe, his thoughts and all about Vietnam, he's trying to forget and blah, blah, blah.
Wow. That's tough.
I called Scott. I said one more time. I said, do you think Gary Mannix can meet us at the Sugar House Casino for the Honor Flight coming back? And he said, let me see. Now, that was 2 days before the flight, and I didn't hear nothing. The first bus comes back, and I happened to be asked to be on that bus. Congressman Bob Brady grabs me and he says, hey, Joe, somebody's waiting in the lobby to meet you. Gary Mannix showed up and shook every vet's hand coming in.
How nice is that?
He said, Joe, I'll go up, I'll say a few words, but then I'm going to leave. I said, fine, thanks. So.
Yeah, Matt, what a great story. I never knew that about automatics. That's what we called them.
And we always
great center fielder.
And Gary Mannix said, I did a few, Joe, because I listen to your show, and you always say that
that's great.
3/4 of the earth is covered with water, the other quarter is covered by Gary Mannix. or Gary Mannix could play center field in Yellowstone National Park, So.
Yeah, very few balls got past him. That's the truth.
It's true.
Yeah, good stuff. It really is.
No, but we,
we're doing well.
We're working with that, and I'll be happy to have your assistants down there. We're
talk to you after the show.
Yeah, and we got to get. We're going to have to look for some of the New Jersey political.
I could take care of South Jersey.
Because we have,
I'm going to jot that down. We can hold you for that one, Joe.
Now that we have,
I'm saving that.
now
that down.
that we're going to bring in South Jersey, when we go there, when we go to the World War II Memorial, we always lay a wreath, and we leave it at Pennsylvania because we're from Pennsylvania.
Exactly.
But now we're bringing in South Jersey. We're going to want to lay a wreath at lay at New Jersey too. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about bringing in. I think that area is what's his name? I forget the congressman down there. Van Drew.
Oh,
Van Drew.
Van Drew. Okay.
And I don't know. Well, they got a new senator down there.
When you guys do the wreath laying, I sit on the board for the Tomb Guard Association down there in Arlington.
The what board?
The Tomb Guard, where they do the
Tomb
21
Guard.
walks, the 21 steps back, and they turn around. Richard Azaro calls me 20 times a day. He's the president of the Tomb Guard Association, and you guys lay a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Yeah, we have.
We might be able to do something a little special this year for you.
Oh, that's great.
We already have an appointment.
Jot that down too, man.
Yeah, that's set up, but we might be able to add
I'm just saying, if we can
He's been doing
enhance
this a long
that
time.
a little bit, I'd be happy to.
That's good.
I'll work with you to get that enhanced, but we already have we had to get it in, because if you don't get it in, you ain't going to get it.
And by the way, if people don't know this or not, Tour of Honor buses or Honor Flight buses are the only buses that are allowed in Arlington.
Yes. Yeah.
Very strict measures down there. They really are.
That's one of my favorite things throughout the year. So obviously we have the Veterans Response Team training that we have twice a year, but the Tour of Honor, seeing the camaraderie that still exists amongst the Vietnam veterans, the Korean War veterans, they still talk trash to each other like we do today.
That's the love.
It's the love, and it's funny, and I enjoy every aspect of that entire trip. From getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm up because I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old anyway, but going down there the whole trip down, walking around all the memorials down there, and then coming back, and then the dinner that's put on. That's amazing.
Yeah, good stuff.
Getting up at 4 o'clock, we're already there.
We're already there. My God.
Yeah.
What a long day.
I'm not part of the planning team.
We're already there. We're cooking away.
That's for sure. I mean, the way those buses are manned, everything is thought of, interest-wise, right, Joe? Medically, any type of medication that's needed, wheelchair accessibility. We have, 270 wheelchairs, I believe.
We have wheelchairs for everybody.
Everybody.
We used to be part
World
of.
War II was tough because if you had 200 vets go, you needed 200 wheels.
Oh, yeah.
200 guardian angels.
Yeah.
We used to be part of.
Honor
Yeah,
flight.
Honor
but
flight.
now a lot of Vietnam veterans are now on walkers and
Yes.
canes and crutches.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, we used to be, and then that was a quick marriage and a fast divorce. But they do the same job we do. I respect them for what they do, and I hopefully they.
One thing I'd like to add to the comments about Honor Flight is whether it's Tom Mellon and Charlie's show or whether it's the Welcome Home show.
Yes.
We cannot describe what takes place on an honor trip on the highways.
We can't.
Where the policemen
Parting
are
with
on
the
the
sea.
motorcycle standing up, banging the doors
Yeah.
of cars
Oh,
to
yeah.
move over.
Yeah.
I mean, they're riding a motorcycle up 95, no hands on the handlebar. They're actually standing and banging car doors
Yes.
to move over so the buses in bumper-to-bumper traffic can do 80 miles an hour.
There are a lot of our veterans.
Actually, to be honest with you, Joe, that doesn't happen anymore.
No, it doesn't. They stopped it.
Joe Biden stopped.
Oh, Biden stopped it, yeah.
He did. We used to you're talking about the National Park Police.
Yes.
They
Yes.
do not. They do
They
not.
don't even, they're not involved anymore.
They don't escort. They only they'll escort you through Washington, but other than that, they won't escort you. Maybe now there might be a change of heart down there, but that's why we at the Tour of Honor, we take our own police with us.
I found out that if you want to get something done in Washington, one of the best organizations is IAVA, Iraq Afghanistan Veterans of America. Do you guys belong to it? They're free of charge. They don't charge. They feel veterans have already paid enough. They don't have to pay $40 or $50 a year. They have a very small group. They don't have clubhouses. They don't do beef and beers. All they do is legislate. They go to the Hill. They go to Congress and senators every day. They have an office in New York and Washington. And the PAC bill that got done, them and AMVETS were the ones that were really IAVA, Iraq Afghanistan Vets of America. When Toomey from Pennsylvania, the great Senator Toomey that hated veterans from Pennsylvania, voted no on the PAC bill.
Unreal.
We went down for 2 weeks. I was down there with John Fields, John Stewart,
Wow.
Leroy Torres, Rosie Torres, and we banged on every Congress and senator doors to say no.
Wow.
Toomey was wrong. Toomey didn't want to spend $400 billion.
It always comes down to the dollar bill.
Well, what's sad? That included Camp Lejeune water from 1953 to 1988. If they took care of it in 53, it wouldn't have cost as much money as today.
Exactly. Or the Agent Orange they didn't need to use.
That was terrible.
And that's what with the Tour of Honor, one of the sons for the World War II veteran, and again, the guy was getting around much better than I was.
Sure.
He's like, the Vietnam veterans have it much worse than any other war ever because of what was sprayed and how it was fought during that time. Even against World War II, they're like the Vietnam veterans have it much worse than any other veteran.
I've been beckoned to have a quick pause for station identification, but if you're not if you're not enjoying this dialogue here, something's wrong with you. Clean the wax out of your ears. It's good stuff. We'll return after a few words from our sponsors.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota is the choice for your next vehicle purchase or service this season. With new Toyota models available for immediate delivery and over 100 certified used and pre-owned vehicles for any budget, plus service specials to keep you on the road to victory. Shop or schedule online at teamtoyota.net or choose one of our 3 locations in Langhorne, Glen Mills, or Princeton. Are you part of the team?
Opinions matter, and so does yours. Hi, I'm Joe Fabrizi, inviting you to join us every Monday at 1 p.m. for Opinions Matter, right here on 1490 AM WBCB. Opinions Matter is now live streamed at WBCB1490.com. We want to hear from you because your opinion does matter.
Are you a parrot head? Not that kind. That's more like it. If you're this kind of parrot head, don't forget to check out the Denny-O Polka Show every Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon right here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Hey, this is Jonesy. Kick off your Thursday and Friday evenings in style. Join me for an eclectic freeform mix of the hits and beyond. It's a happening, a musical journey. It's the Glenn Jones radio experience right here on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, Thursday and Friday, 5 to 6 p.m., directly following the legendary Jerry Blavitt. Radio, the way it ought to be.
Hi, this is Mayor Jeff Martin of Hamilton Township, inviting you to tune in to our monthly radio show, This Month in Hamilton. Video stream live the 4th Tuesday of every month at 10 a.m. at WBCB1490.com. We will be featuring various guests from Hamilton Township to keep you up to date on what's going on in Hamilton.
There really is nothing like a home team advantage. That's why Team Toyota is the choice for your next vehicle purchase or service this season. With new Toyota models available for immediate delivery and over 100 certified used and pre-owned vehicles for any budget, plus service specials to keep you on the road to victory. Shop or schedule online at teamtoyota.net or choose one of our 3 locations in Langhorne, Glen Mills, or Princeton. Are you part of the team?
Welcome back to Let's Go Places on WBCB 1490. I'm the guy who's honored. I'm just the one that fortunately brings all our leaders together so that they can display and convey words of wisdom, experience, so that you understand how important our veterans are, our military are. And when I look around the room here, a lot of compliments to those who have served. Thanksgiving, once again, it's a blessing for all of us to be with our family members, but as Matt will ascribe, and I know that Joe will, and everyone here, there's a lot of most of our veterans out there abroad. They get to go maybe Zoom up and say Happy Thanksgiving to their family. So, we thank all of our military once again. It's a bleeding heart often that we have emotionally for our veterans who served to make this world a democracy that it still stands proud to be. Without further ado, Joe, you had a quick point to make, and then Joe's got a story.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you.
All the Joes here.
I want to let everyone out there, all the vets and our veterans' families, know that the cost for this trip for a veteran is absolutely zero.
What is that again? How much?
Nothing. It doesn't cost the
Zero.
veteran anything. And again, they get the apparel, they get breakfast, lunch, dinner,
snacks,
and a good day with their fellow veterans, and they can talk about things that they probably haven't talked about to people for 50 years, 60 years. It's interesting how you can listen to these guys talk and then they tell you, I haven't talked about the war in 50 years or something.
It enabled them to. It is an enabling factor.
And it tells it, that's the way. That's what makes me feel like and keep going and everything is when they tell you that like thank you that I've been able to talk to somebody about it.
Well, and thank you, Joe, for all the
Oh,
work
it's,
that you
you know,
do. Seriously,
I
it's
got
all.
a team. I got a team behind this, and again, that's one thing you can't. If you don't have a team, it ain't going to work.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
There's
Exactly.
very few people that can do something by themselves.
No, but
Matt Allen.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? Matt Allen. There it is, baby. That's right.
I know him.
The leadership and there's no I in team, as Paul Muller says all the
It
time.
could be I knew him too.
It could be very quickly.
Right. Joe, you have a quick two-minute story?
Just 2 points. I had the honor of spending a few days under the ocean, on top of the ocean, the beginning of September after the commissioning of the USS New Jersey. And the 128 men and women that are on that boat are the hardest working people, veterans I ever saw.
Submarines.
They only get a shower every 3 or 4 days. They wear the same overalls 3 days, and when they put on new overalls, they wear them for 4 days. They get one towel. It's all about space.
Wow.
There's no space whatsoever. You talk about claustrophobia.
Very confining.
Very, very tough. But years ago, I'm sure some of the people at this table, if not all, know Judge Larry Rubini.
Yes.
Big judge, dear friend of mine. And he convinced me years ago to go on
Submarine?
the Washington crossing.
Oh, God, yeah.
And the first time I went on, Larry said, Joe, you don't have to buy an outfit. I have extra pieces at home. The ruffled shirt and the canvas jacket and the pants and the socks. The only thing I don't have is a scarf and a pair of shoes. He said, but just wear something that's laying around the house. He said, but make sure the scarf is a solid color, knitted if possible.
Sure.
So I found that an ARC store down the shore that takes in stuff people are discarding and other people are going to buy. But he needed a pair of shoes. So I woke up on my morning. The only honey-do list I get from my wife every day is to go to Starbucks. She said, do me a favor. Before you take a shower, can you run around and get me Starbucks? I said, yeah. She says, and while you're there, go in the store across the street, the Goodwill, and see if you can get a pair of shoes. They can't be wingtips. They can't be loafers. They got to be old beat-up shoes that they wore in the 1700s. So I have a T-shirt that's probably ripped, shorts I probably slept in, and I threw a pair of socks on, then comb my hair, and I go in the Goodwill store. And I said to the woman, do you have any black shoes? She had back in the corner. And there's a couple looking at me. And I go in the back, and I find the rack that has size 9s. They're all used shoes. And I get the shoes, and I said, my God, this is what I was looking for. It was like on my bucket list of these shoes were fabulous. The girl said, you can try them on over there. I try them on. And I'm talking myself out loud saying, well, I found what Larry Rubini told me I needed. So I turn around, go up to the counter, I go to pay for it, and I said to the woman, how much do I owe you? She said, well, they're $3. So I take out a 10 to give her, and she says, that couple that just left paid for your shoes.
It's a Joe Gold tribute. That's what he does all the
time. They thought you were homeless.
Yeah.
And they wanted to treat you shoes. So I get the shoes, and I'm fine. I get the shoes. Now, my wife's $75,000 Cadillac, I drove that morning, bright red, and the couple sitting in their car next to my wife's car. I got the shoes in my hand. I look like a bum, and I said, Joe, you got to walk across the street and go in the woods. So I did. I walked across the street where the homeless people were back in the woods.
Right.
And I was able to go deep enough that they couldn't see me, but I could see their car when they drove away. I went out. And why I tell that story is that's what America's all about.
It is.
That's what it's all about. And know something? Those shoes are one of the most important things in my life, material things, because just the memory of what took place on that.
What took place on that
And
day.
Bucks County, I'm sorry, but if you never done the Washington crossing, you haven't celebrated Christmas properly.
Boy.
You won't. Of course, I wish Washington.
With the wreaths across America?
No, this is the
Washington crossing.
The historical
and the dorm
journey
boats.
in the river.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. On Christmas.
I only wish Washington had crossed a little closer to Cape May, because you got to come up for 4 rehearsals before the crossing.
Yeah.
But it's something as an American, especially as a veteran, you will cherish your whole life.
Battle of Trenton.
Want to cross that?
Yeah,
Battle of
you're
Trenton.
right. Battle of Trenton.
Actually, probably what turned the war around.
It did. Sure did.
You have a joke to tell, but you can't tell it on the air. He looked at me and started laughing. He's got a Washington Crossing. Yeah, he's got an historical joke, but unfortunately, Bree, we can't, because then WBCB will be shut down for a while. So
She's up for Saturday weekend.
yeah, the joke that he'll tell later off the air, it's not as good as that one, but that's real. I mean, that's a realist.
True story.
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen, it's already paid for. There was somebody out there the way you were dressed.
That's funny.
Yeah.
They were still sitting outside in their car.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, who else would be buying a pair of used shoes but a poor person?
You're right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Matt, tell us a little bit about your initiative now with the memorial that you're going to be working on up in Bucks County, up in Doylestown. Forgive me.
So I've been in this position for about a year and 8 months, and I started the Veterans Response Team. We have a planning team, and women veterans aren't really recognized that much. So this year, I'm going to be erecting a Women's Veterans Memorial statue in Doylestown. We have the World War II Memorial, we have the Korean War Memorial, Vietnam Memorial, Global War on Terrorism Memorial, but we don't have a Women's Veterans Memorial. So I'm in the preliminary stages of getting that started, and it's going to be finalized sometime this year and erected sometime this year.
Obviously, you must have the support, with government, all the officials. They got to be rallying behind you for something like this.
Someone once told me that, has anyone ever said no to a veteran? I said, well, let me
Great
ask
question.
you for $5 million, and you'll tell me no. And of course,
Ask for 10 and they'll give you 5.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. That's it, Joe.
But
Hit 'em high.
There's a lot of different things that I want to get done in this position. Fix the homeless veteran population. In Bucks County alone, we have anywhere between 10 and 20 homeless veterans on a given night. That's
Too many.
10 too many, 20 too many, 1's too many. The crisis with veterans, which, the Veterans Response Team isn't going to make it 100% where there's 0 veteran suicide. Since I've been in this position, we're about 11 veterans that have committed suicide or died by suicide in Bucks County alone. That's not to speak on South Jersey or any other county. That's specific to Bucks County. So there's different things that I think can be done to address different situations, and recognizing the women veterans is one small token that we could do.
Any idea what kind of statue you want to do?
Yes. No, I don't.
You don't?
I don't yet.
You might want to think about a Gold Star Mother statue.
Okay.
A woman, but I can put you in touch with Phyllis Wilson. She's the president and the director of the Women's Military Association. If you've been to Arlington, which most of us have, that Gothic building with the high columns when you make the turn, that is the building that honors just women.
Wow.
Or WAFs or waves or breakfast donut dollies that serve our country, and their job is to try and register every woman, past or present, that ever served in the military. But she's with the Women's Military Memorial, and her name's Phyllis Wilson, and she would be glad to come up and be your speaker.
Oh, I'd love that.
Matt, that's a great connection.
She's a chief warrant officer. She's got 9.
In the Navy?
No, Army, but she's got 9 kids, and she's the highest ranking warrant
bless her.
officer in the military.
Yeah.
Good
9
lady,
kids.
great lady.
Must have a stay-at-home dad. Because daycare is
She would help you
astronaut-
with some of your ideas for a women's memorial.
Awesome.
And there aren't that many.
There isn't.
If any.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So that's one thing that I want to do for 2025.
That's
Good.
phenomenal.
Good for you.
Joe Gall, Mr. Gall, if you could grab the pick there. I know that you'll want to speak a little bit to Matt about our intentions with the homeless and how we want to put support for the veterans that need the shelter and housing.
Yeah. Well, we met with Matt last week about the Women's Veterans program that we're trying to put together.
Yes.
Created a rendering.
Can you get a picture of that, Bray?
We created a rendering of a Victorian-style building that would house 16 women veterans. There's a program through HUD, Housing Urban Development, Veterans Administrative Supportive Housing, where the women in transition from the service into civilian life, creating a career, nursing or politics or whatever, construction. It's a 2-year program where we would eventually try to have them in our new housing development. And then they get a voucher from the government if they qualify for the HUD-VASH program, about $65 a day, that would support the building and the amenities and utilities and so forth. But yeah, so
that's a crucial project. It really, and I know Matt's interested.
Just in Pennsylvania, I just mentioned to Matt that there's 77,000 women veterans in Pennsylvania, and there's hardly any housing directly for them.
Wow.
You know, Joe, Towers to Tunnels, we're very involved with them. Now that the Iraq-Afghanistan war has winded down, and they're still taking care of paraplegics that lost a limb, 2 limbs, 3 limbs. They're now focusing on homeless. I can put you in contact with them. They may be able to help you with funding.
Powerful organization, TNT.
Yeah, their goal now is to, if we can house the wounded veterans, we can house the homeless veterans.
Correct.
So we can help you with that.
And I agree with that. And your little template there with the basement, we have Horsham Clinic in Montgomery County, the Philadelphia VA, obviously in Philadelphia. We have Coatesville in Coatesville, Chester County. But we don't have any satellite offices for the VA here in Bucks County.
Right.
And that little template that you have there can bring more resources under one umbrella here in Bucks County. Behavioral health services, medical services, anything that the VA has to offer can come to Bucks County and be into this building, which can also bring funding for that as well.
Well, the building's 9,400 square feet with a full basement that would we could have supportive services, as you mentioned, right on site. And I believe the program we're looking at, the women veterans will have a counselor, or a caseworker, to keep everybody on track.
The Multi-Services Center in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
when you build these, they will put offices in there so they have veterans 7
That's
days a
another
week there.
great organization right downtown.
And they're looking for a spot here in Bucks County, and this is another way to help bring it to Bucks County.
We have
By the way, the director is related to Charlie and I. Charlie, my sister is it Joe Brooks is the president. That's her nephew, so we're kind of related.
We're going to be bringing him on a radio show. I reached out to him, Joe.
Did he call you back?
Not yet,
He's
but
tough.
I know he's busy.
He responds
Does
to me
he?
quite
Oh,
frequently.
you're a bitch
Then I'll
guy.
call you next time I need him, and you can have him call me.
I'll just shoot him an email. He gets
And he gets right back to
quickly.
you.
Yeah, it's weird.
Say I'm chopped
But he
liver,
does
Joe.
a good job.
Joe, we have
Chopped liver.
we already have a
And I'm not even an important
2-acre
guy.
site in Bridgeton, New Jersey,
Yes.
Cumberland County, that I'm working with the business administrative manager down there. So we have a site picked out for this. So we're moving along.
In Cumberland County.
Yeah, right in Bridgeton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Right.
Quite a few projects that we're excited to work with Matt on, right, Joe?
Yeah, it'd be great. Get started in Bucks County.
The law enforcement one. Is the
that's
icing on the cake.
the safety blue alert.
For the cost that idea has versus saving a police officer's life, it's a no-brainer. Honestly,
Matt, it is, and we're so happy to have your support, Joe Safran. A lot of our chiefs, the Department of Public Safety in Bensalem, we went down, and Joe Cole and myself spoke with Bill McVeigh, and after we went over everything, the presentation, he looked at Joe and me, and he said, I've been in law enforcement for almost 30 years, and why didn't I think of this?
Well, Tom, what we're talking about is Safety Blue Alert.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, this all started.
How did it start, Joe? Tell us.
Yeah, this defund the police movement about 4 years ago just really hit a nerve with me, because we need this protection every day throughout the country. So I thought about it. I did a lot of research. Last year alone, there were 350 law enforcement officers ambushed in the United States. So I interviewed several departments, several officers in departments. They said, you're sitting in your vehicle, it's quiet. What are you doing? They said, well, we're basically doing paperwork. You got the light on, I said, well, who's coming towards the vehicle? We really don't know. Now, as Toyota, the modern vehicles have you walk in front, beep, 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 for backing up, but nothing goes out where we're talking distances. So I created Safety Blue Alert, safety, which we all aspire to, blue, protect the blue, and alert the officers that are on duty parked in their vehicles. And this can transcend to any kind of, security, that type of thing. So we're in the process of developing this program. And as Tom said, we have letters of endorsement from Middletown Police, from Ben Salem.
John McNesby, obviously.
Yeah.
From
So the way it would work, Safety Blue Alert, the officers would get in the vehicle, it activates our system to a 360 camera, and we're working with some modern technology companies right now that it can go out 3 football fields, and you can calibrate the distance, like if you want 100 yards, 200 yards. And we're in
it's adjustable, right?
Basically in production right now. So we did our website is www.safetybluealert.com, and we just did a enactment in right here in Bucks County in Court Creek Park with Middletown police officers, and we had 2 make-believe perpetrators coming toward the vehicle. The system went off, and as they come in like about 100 yards, all the lights on the vehicle went on, so the officer's already alerted. So this will be an automatic thing. So they're doing paperwork, but as soon as somebody's approaching, and as I said, you calibrate it.
Yes.
100 yards, 200 yards. It's a second set of eyes, basically.
We've had a lot of officers that were shot right in their cars, Joe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, as I said, I mean, a lot of that was domestic with 350 officers, but, this defund the police, it was a ridiculous program.
Yes.
We need protection. So.
And now more than ever, because of the critical shortage of police
Yeah.
officers in many of our major cities.
So we're looking, we're raising funding right now. We're on the social media, YouTube, Facebook, and as I said, it's www.safetybluealert.com. So we would appreciate your support.
Yeah, I could have used that. So I was a part-time police officer in Marsville in 2018, 2019. And I was sitting at the Trenton Makes Bridge facing Trenton, and I was doing a report and monitoring traffic coming from Trenton, doing my report, and someone knocks on my window. And that could have been someone ambushing me.
It could have been, very easily.
That would have protected me and saved my life.
Absolutely, man. That's a good point. When I was going back into the
40s?
Yeah. Sorry to say.
That's all right.
But yeah, no, you're right, though. But going back.
In the 2000s.
Yeah, regressing back. No, we're back into the 1960s, and I'm sitting in front of Henry F. Ortlieb's mausoleum. That was in North Philly. There was a cemetery there, and after club checks in North Philly, we needed some place to park and just relax for a little bit. At any rate, we go into the cemetery. Who's going to be there? They're all, they're not going to bother us. So we pulled up in front of Henry F. Ortlieb's spot, and we're doing paperwork, and I'm just sitting there, and 4:30, 4:45 in the morning, summertime. And all of a sudden, I happen to look over. My partner, Doug Shields, he's the driver. I'm the recorder. And I look over, and there's a guy peeking right in the window, police window, in the center of a cemetery. So I go for my gun right away. I get out of the car. I said, "Yo," and he looked at me and said, "It's a peaceful night, officer, isn't it?" And I noticed he had a gown on and slippers. I'm thinking, where's this guy come from? Here he was a walk-off from the Northeast Community Health Center, which was maybe 5-6 miles away. He walked that far without anybody recognizing him. Goes through the cemetery. We could have both been toasted right there, easily.
Yeah.
My partner looked and said, "It's the last time we're going to be parking here." I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But it's a funny moment, but that could have been a disaster for the two of us.
Yeah, as I said, Tom and I, with Tom's background as a Philadelphia police officer, we're connecting with a lot of the police organizations, chiefs of police, and we want to get this product on the market to basically save lives.
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
Joe Safran, who's politically inclined to reach out to some of our leadership, and he's going to set up a meeting with Brian Fitzpatrick. Hopefully we'll be able to sit down with him, let him know how crucial this is and important it is to apply public safety, especially with the catastrophe and the critical shortage. And this transcends over, Joe, we didn't talk about it yet, to the military. Can you imagine the military vehicles that will have this device, this state-of-the-art patented technology? Joe, I mean, think about it. I mean, the enemy's out there, and we can find out quicker than some type of a calamity. That
our patent does cover all military. That's the second phase of it. And basically, this would be great on the border also.
Joe, I have a question to ask.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, Joe.
Your patent is for the whole rack that goes on the roof of the car, correct?
Well, it's for various things. Antennas or the police light bar.
Could you sell just a device and have it attached to the bars?
Absolutely.
That would bring the cost
down. We're working on that right now.
That would bring the cost down.
That's a good point, Joe.
A friend of mine that was on our show, and he won Shark Tank one year, Zero Eyes.
Yep.
And he's going to do $1 billion next year. He come up with a device that his device hooks onto the monitor of a camera of a school.
Yep.
And where it takes the security guard or the principal, they call the police in 5 minutes. His device works in 11 seconds. They notify the police.
God.
Yeah, Zero Eyes.
Phenomenal.
But he's not reinventing the wheel. He's using the already existing. If you could use the existing rack on the roof of a car and apply your device, it'll drop your cost down.
That's what one of our goals
would be great.
to do
That
it.
would
So.
be good.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I think this is a great device, and one to bring the cost down. If this cost $100,000, saving the life of
We know that, but
That's
you go
correct.
you go to Bucks County Police Department and say, hey, we can do this device. It's only cost you $400,000 of your cars. They're going to go, whoa.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
Joe, you could probably take this device even to get it down to a chip and put it in a veteran's helmet.
Yeah, with the invention of
Eventually.
AI right now, all these modern technologies, we're working with a couple companies.
I know
that
in
can do that.
Vietnam, when you were on patrol, you want 9, 10, 15 guys. It was just you in the jungle out there.
Yeah.
But if you had a
cigarette.
chip or a device, if you had a chip or a device, it would let you know that somebody's ahead of you 50 yards or 100 yards.
Absolutely.
But I agree. There's no cost in. The people that want to fight the cost, they're the ones that never get the knock on the door saying that their son or daughter died in war.
That's
Isn't
right.
it the truth? Oh, God, you don't want
That's
that
right.
knock on the door. That's for sure.
Yeah, but as Matt said, if we could save one life with this program, that's well
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Tom, when you first came back from the break, you said to all the service members serving, stay vigilant out there still. Terrorists don't consider holidays. They'll attack at any moment. So we appreciate all that you are all doing overseas, but remember to stay vigilant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for adding that, Matt. That's very true.
Yep.
Charlie, we didn't mention anything about you. I mean, obviously you have things that are going on with...
I was just thinking of my grocery list. I'm sorry. No, I'm enjoying the show. You always learn something. And who said you can't broker deals when you're on a radio
That's
show?
the truth.
We brokered about 6
Brokered a few
deals.
deals right here already.
We should get compensated for that. I think.
Why not? Whatever you need, we'll stroke you a check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the last one.
Right. But you're the president of our retired police fire, and I always say that eventually we got to change it. We say prison guards, but they like to be
correction officers.
Respected as correctional officers, obviously. Retired Philadelphia retirees of the police, fire, and correctional.
Keep it up. You'll get it one of these days.
Eventually, I just keep guessing. But I'm honored to be on that board, and we do a lot of good things for our retirees. And tell us a little bit about the dues, how expensive it is.
Oh yeah, we have the same problem with our organization as the post and all. Getting the newer guys to retire. I go to the seminars when they're retiring, hand them out the papers, to mail into us. We have a lot of trouble getting them to join. They don't want to be.
They hated their career for the entire time.
And our organizations, it's $15 a year.
Wow.
$15 a year.
$15.
We get 5 general body meetings where they get a meal, 5 luncheons where they get a meal. We have 3 or 4 newspapers a year where we have everything that's going on with the police, our fire, any activity we get. We try to go there, take pictures, and write stories. Plus, we we volunteer with so many of the charities, that are involved with the survivors and the widowers, firemen widowers, and it's still so difficult to get members to join. So, and then like for instance, last year we lost 270 because we're mostly older men now.
Speak for yourself,
and women.
Charlie.
We lost 270 members, and we might have got. I think we got like 18 new members, which keeps knocking our membership down. And I explained to them, well, maybe you might not be able to make it to the meeting, but it's the power of the group.
Yes.
And right now we're going after the Winfield Act and
which we did very well, I understand.
Yeah, we got to get it through the Senate.
Yes, it's got to go to the Senate now.
We flew through the Congress.
Explain to Matt and everyone, for the sake of our listeners, the Windfall Act, how that applied back in the Reagan administration.
Yeah, just to break it down to the thing is, a lot of people that fall under the Windfall Act, like myself,
Yes.
instead of getting $900 a month Social Security, I get $300 a month because they take that, subtract your pension money because you paid into a pension away from that.
Pension, right.
Started out with the school teachers and then it moved over to the police and the fire. So right now, after like 22 years of fighting it, we're very close of getting it passed. Hopefully we'll get it through. And we're not looking for retroactive. No. We just want to be, from this point on, to get our fair share.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the guys, even after they retired, went and got another job. I paid Social Security and all that time before. The military, we paid Social Security. So I had enough time to get a partial Social Security. But they refused to give you the whole one. So right now we're fighting that. We might get that. Keep your fingers out there, guys. Keep them crossed. We might get something for you this year.
And Charlie, you do a fantastic job on behalf of any of our police officers, firefighters, and our correctional officers. It's a wonderful organization. We need to get you to. Matt can come.
Anybody, we accept anybody that wants to join. We'll accept them.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have our main thing is widowers. They always want to stay on when their spouse passes.
Yes.
But we have family members that are associated.
Very much.
My children all joined.
Yeah.
So anybody that wants to join that's interested in participating, and like I say, we donate. Every year we donate to the survivors, a nice check for the survivors, a nice check for the widowers, and we donate to a lot of other organizations because we try to spend the money that we bring in.
Right. Right. We went out to 22nd and Hunting Park in Philadelphia, the 39th Police District in Philadelphia, Joe.
Yeah, this is a horror.
Horror. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. We pull up, we go into the back parking lot area, and I said to Charlie, it's 9 o'clock. Roll call's done.
We were delivering cookies that day. We did cookies for cops. We do that.
So I looked around, and there's about 15, 20 police cars that are down. They're just parked. I said, wait, the roll call's over. Why are these cars parked in here? So we went into the operations room to discover, not that we were real surprised, but it's when you see it right in front of you, that's a big district out in northwest Philadelphia.
One of the most active.
One of the most active. A lot of crime committed out there, unfortunately. And I said to the lieutenant, the commanding officer, how many guys do you have on the street that are available right now? He says, well, I think we just have 2 cars, one front end, the back end. I said, wait a minute. You have 2 police cars that are out there. We don't have manpower. With the attrition rate, we don't have manpower today. So they're covering... 2 police officers covering a major portion of the city of Philadelphia.
High crimes district.
What happens if they get a call, and they're there and they are in distress and they need help? Well, we got our special, detailed forces such as stakeout and highway patrol, but it's a shock. That's why the safety blue alert really takes precedence right now. How important it is to have these devices, Joe, in every vehicle as well as our military to be able to protect public safety, saving lives, saving the lives of our heroes, which is what's most important. But that was a shock when we went. You made me just think of that.
Recruiting has improved a little over this last year.
Right.
Because for a while there, they had like 25 people in the class.
Yes.
We used to have 90. with 3 classes going on at the same time.
Yeah.
90 classes of 3, but now they're starting to. I've noticed there's like 40, 50 people in their
Yeah, there's
classes.
a little bit more.
They're starting to get better again.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Bree is in the back there, and she said to me before the show started, when we get down to 5 minutes, I'm going to hold my breath because you need to we need to get off the air after 90 minutes. So she's starting to turn purple out there. So what do we have, about 3 minutes, Bree? 4 minutes, some closing thoughts. Charlie?
Well, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. And
Joe?
Same. Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
everyone.
Thanksgiving. Breakfast tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll be there.
For the
Okay.
veterans.
At 4 a.m.?
Let's head over to the gang.
Me too.
Happy Thanksgiving to enjoy the family time, and happy Thanksgiving to all our veterans. Thanks for serving.
Would you like to give an hoorah for some of your brother?
Tom and I, hoorah!
There you go.
Semper Fi.
Semper Fi.
Right. Yeah, just parrot all you guys. I mean, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving, everything coming up. Matt, it's good to be able to work with you here at the county and additional things that we can do for veterans and the police force. It's awesome and love to help you out and continue doing it, man.
Great.
Yeah, Tom, thanks for having me. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And don't forget, July 28th at Spring Mill Country Club.
Yeah, July
Bucks County.
28th, Spring Mill Country Club. There was one other thing. Oh, we covered the memorial. But, yeah, if you have any information or if you have any interest, we have the information for you. There's our phone number they can call about the golf outing or any other special.
215-345-3881. That's my my landline in my office. Register for the Bucks County Veterans Affairs golf outing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll
Joe?
be there with a car.
Yeah, just remember, everyone, that tomorrow when we're sitting down eating 3 kinds of potatoes and 4 kinds of stuffing mix and desserts and cranberry sauce and cornbread, veterans are getting a scoop of potatoes and a spoonful of vegetables and maybe a piece of turkey and a shelter. And if somebody donates a pumpkin pie, they get dessert. Over 30,000 are homeless tomorrow. You know, be a little kinder to them when you see them on the street. They're not bums.
Absolutely. No, God
And
bless
happy
you.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, thank you very much, Joe, for coming up from South Jersey. We will be
Where's my car? They told me I get a free car if I come up.
I'm
from
working
South
on that
Jersey.
same program.
Fred Herron does it to me all the time, right? Fred Herron does it all the time. He'll look at me and say, hey, that truck looks great. Can you talk to Paul for me? I said, sure I can. But I might as well talk to the wall. It's still going to cost so much. But anyhow, I want to thank everyone for being here, and I welcome you back, obviously. Joe.
Anytime.
Yeah. And we'll get Matt to come down. We'll get
Love you guys.
get Matt on the show with you.
Our show's all about communicating.
Which is great.
Nothing else.
Which
Nothing
is great. Be thankful for what we have here in this country, in our neighborhoods. Smile. Do things good, nice and warm for your neighbor. Even if he lets all the leaves blow on your lawn, it's just leaves that are blowing. Just let them go. Be nice, be kind to people, and thankful to our military once again. Our military that keeps us strong, safe, secure. Our border, I promise you, our border will get stronger. I'm not going to get politically involved here, but our border is going to get stronger. The economy, I believe, will get better. I really, truly believe that. The economy is going to tighten up a little bit. And I can't think of anything else other than our military once again, and all of our police and our firefighters. They're truly our heroes. Happy Thanksgiving to all of them. Blessings for them to stay safe and secure. Be safe, stay well. Jerry, I'm really coming home to walk the dog in a little while. And most importantly, God bless America.